Hello everyone, I'm Carrie and I'm back with another pick a card reading. Okay, so today we're doing a pick a card reading on what would you do if money weren't an option? What would you be doing if money weren't an option? So this is coming from, I don't know if you watched the previous reading on Mercury retrograde, but the Mercury retrograde that's happening in December of 2023 is really gonna make us rethink like what we're doing in life, and is it what we really want to be doing? Like, are we on our actual right path, or are we just kind of floating on by? So it's gonna open our eyes to that, and that's what made me want to do this reading. I was like, okay, so if people don't know, like if they're not aware of exactly what they want to be doing, then what, like this question would be perfect. It's like, what would you be doing if money weren't an option? So I've got 6 piles here. Pile 1, pile 2, pile 3, pile 4, pile 5, and pile 6. And let's get started with pile 1. Make sure to keep these in order. It's a lot of them. Okay. All right, pile 1. Thank you so much for watching and being here. And we're going to answer the question, what would you be doing if money were not an option? I kind of want to move these. Or sorry, issue, not option. There we go. Perfect. Okay, pile 1. What would you be doing if money were not an issue? So these 3 cards are going to be, it's actually supposed to be 2, but you got 3. Are going to be basically saying the answer to what would you be doing. Got networker, alchemist, and gambler. And then let's get the clarifying cards. Strength. I'm going to keep these to the side because these are actually going to be cards of advice. Zoom in some. Just a smidgen. Okay, pile 1. So if you did not have to worry about money at all, it seems like you would be someone who likes to set trends. So first we got networker. Enhances unity through the sharing of information, engenders social awareness and empathy. Then we have alchemist. Transformation of base motives and goals into golden wisdom. And then gambler. Willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. So this is kind of reminding me of someone who's either like a life coach or like a manager. And when I'm talking about manager, I'm talking about like a celebrity manager type thing, or even like a, I don't know who else would need managers, really. I guess athletes, athletic manager, but somebody who is out there like finding the people that are like, they're a little dusty. They need to be dusted off a bit. They need to be polished up, but you can see that that person, like that they have these skills and innate ability. Like you can look at them, see that, and know that you would be able to help them to get there to the thing that they want to be. And that's where we come in, where gambler comes in, because it's like you see that person and their gift, skills, and abilities, but you know they're not where they need to be yet, and you know that you have the power, or you believe you have the power to get them there, like to help them out. But it would be a gamble because it's like that person is not on that path at all. They haven't, like when it comes to athlete, you would be one of those scouts who are going out to the like even middle schools or high schools to try to look at kids and see if they would be able to make it in the pros. So you're not just looking at their athletic ability, but you're looking at like their family life, whether or not they're getting enough nutrients, whether or not they're getting encouraged properly, like if their home life is good. Like you're looking at everything. If you're like a celebrity manager, maybe your person that you're managing is, you know, they're just starting out, but you can see the good raw talent that they have, but they might not have the confidence, they might not have the fashion sense, they might not have all that. Like you, if you didn't have to worry about money, you would go and find these people and try to help them become their best selves. Like, I guess because that's something innate in you that you, maybe that's one of your gifts. You can just see people and they're skills that they like. You can see parts of them that they don't see. You can see where they could be if they only, believed in themselves. So you can see that about them. And with this alchemist, they're like just putting the pieces together. It's like, okay, this is what you need. This is how you should dress. This is how you should speak. This is how fast you need to run to get this scholarship. This is the types of classes you need to take if you want to become that. Like you're really just helping, like even like a school counselor. I was just thinking. So with the clarifying cards, we have Strength, the Knight of Wands, Renewal, and the King of Cups. So maybe you're already this. You're someone who is not easily moved. And it's not because you just, I don't know, you don't have a huge ego. You actually know things to be true because you have been through and experienced these things. So I don't know if you are like older and you want to have a second chance at life or something like that. Like you kind of are looking back at life at all the mistakes that you made and you really wish you could just guide somebody else through so that they won't have to make the same mistakes as you. But I really do see you as somebody who has gone through a lot, somebody who, because Nine of Wands is the wounded warrior, that's what we call it. This card doesn't really look like that, but normally the person is standing behind all those wands, or no, standing in front of those wands, just kind of looking for the next battle, looking for like when they would, basically waiting for somebody to attack them again because they have been attacked so many times. And I just really see from this card, like these cards, you are someone who has been through a lot. You've been through a lot of battles, so you know you can survive. And you kind of want to help other people not have to go through that. We got Renewal. This is the Judgment card, reviewing the past with compassion and forgiveness. So it's like you understand every single thing that you've gone through. You know now. Like you have that perspective now on your life. Like, dang, I went through all of these things and it has gotten me to this place where I am. But I didn't have to go through that. If I would have known this, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have had to go through it. So I'm really just kind of feeling like you want to lead and guide somebody else. I'm even thinking about Boys and Girls Club. Like if you I don't know if you participate in that or if you wanted to, but it's like y'all don't pay enough, so I really cannot like I really cannot spend my 40 hours a day at the Boys and Girls Club because I wouldn't be able to afford to live. But if I could, I would love to like teach these kids, especially kids from disadvantaged backgrounds. If I could just teach them some things that they're just not going to learn where they are from because they don't understand this stuff yet. If I could help them see what classes they should be taking, I could help them see that, if they do this and that, or even trade school, like kind of just teaching them the way to go because you know it. You have been through so many different things, so many different paths. You are strong. You're strong enough to hold the lion's mouth open. And we have this King of Cups. You are even somebody who can help others like get perspective on their emotions. Like if people are suffering with mental health issues, you can help them go through that because you also have been through that. So much so that you're the King of Cups now. You know how to ride the wave. You have ridden it many times. You have practiced this. You're very good at it. And so because of that, you can help other people get perspective. Like say, even if they have mental health issues like ADHD, ADD, autism, like things like that that many people suffer from. You can help them kind of get some perspective in how to act, how to behave, like how for them to, I won't even say blend in, but sometimes it seems like life isn't made for you, made for people who have certain problems. And they don't even have to be problems. Like maybe you don't even see them as problems. Maybe you just like, it seems like a problem because you don't really know how to work with it. But here's how to work with it. Let me show you how to work with it because I've been doing this for a long time. This has worked for me. Let's see if it works for you. If not, we can figure it out because you're an alchemist. Like you know how to move stuff around. You know how to like put things together, put two and two together and get 20. Like not even 20. So you know how to do that. And you're going to be, what you would be doing if money wasn't an option is teaching and guiding and leading people through this. So we've got some cards of advice because sometimes we believe that money is the thing that's holding us back from doing the things that we want to do, but sometimes it's really not money. It's just being the alchemist to find in our lives the opportunities to do those things. So we got sanctity and gratitude. Through offering, even the most mundane problem can become a sacrament. And then gratitude, fill me with gratitude for all you give. May I be a vehicle for you wherever I go. I love this. So you want to do this for other people in their lives, but what you don't realize is that you're already doing this. It says, may I be a vehicle for you wherever I go. So it's like you just showing up and existing in the spaces that you already show up and exist in. are helping others around you. You're teaching them the things that you want to teach these people, these kids, these celebrities, these your students. Like, you're teaching them already by existing, but you might not see that. Well, I'm going to say you definitely don't see that if you feel like you need more money to be able to do the things you're doing. So basically, just be yourself even more. That's the advice. You existing in the spaces you exist in is what's helping the others around you in the ways that you want to help them. But it could be that you don't feel like you have the opportunity to do this. Like, maybe you don't see a lot of people every day. And so perhaps you're just literally going other places regularly because they need to be around you regularly to kind of pick up what you're putting down. So the things that you say all the time, even the little stories you tell, if you tell anecdotes, like going to church, if you do that, go even more often and, take time to speak to people. If you have children, you go to your school, take time to speak to the kids. Like, you don't even have to it doesn't even have to be a special, like, sometimes we feel like we got to be up on a platform for people to listen to us. But it's really the everyday things we do, our actions. That's the things that really teach others. When we are surrounded by examples of what to do, and then there's this one person who has this whole other example, I really feel like we think they're crazy, or we were like, okay, so what they doing? What are they doing over there? And even if you think that person is crazy or just not, they're off, they're not right, you pay attention to that person. They get more attention than the people who are doing all the same thing, regular thing, everybody doing that thing. You get more attention than them. So what these cards are saying is to continue to be yourself. You don't have to feel like you have to be up on a platform or have money or like drastically move people's lives and, just like drastically do things. No, you can literally show up every day having the ideals that you have, having the knowledge that you have, the wisdom that you have, and sharing it in little small different pieces wherever it's needed. And then boom, that is you doing the thing that you desire to do. Okay, pile one, that is your reading. Let's move on to pile two. Okay, pile two. So your two cards to say what you would do if money weren't an option are Poet and Virgin. Poet says expressing soul insights in symbolic language, and Virgin is maintaining symbolic purity of heart and spirit. I love these because you are an artist. I mean, specifically a word artist, so a poet, a writer. Because this deck, I want to say, has writer and artist in there, then those probably would have come out. So you're a poet, but because this is a group reading or collective reading, then you could be someone who uses words to express themselves, basically. But because we have Virgin clarifying poet, it's like you want to express yourself using words and in ways in which nobody has ever done before. I'm talking like Shakespeare level. Like, we always look back to Shakespeare and the way he has put words together. And I guess back in those days, he used words differently, and he even made up words to fit what he wanted to say. And that's the type of stuff that you want to be on. Like, you want to make some stuff that's going to last for centuries that people will study later on. Like, you want something that has never been done before, never has been seen before, that it would take years for people to even decipher and understand. And when they do, they'll be like, it's so brilliant what they have come up with. It's brilliant. So, the clarifying cards. We've got the Page of, what do you call those? Pentacles, Knight of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. I'm just going to look at these first. So it's funny because I'm supposed to be getting clarifying cards on what it is that you desire, but I really kind of feel like it's going into advice already. Maybe this is something that you're doing already, is studying. You might be studying a lot. I'm talking like looking at all the poets of the past, learning. I heard iambic pentameter. So maybe learning that, but learning, you want to do something different. So you're trying to, basically it's like you're trying to look at what has been done before and be like, okay, what hasn't been done yet? You're trying to like find that area of talent that hasn't been tapped into. Like, like you literally might be a scholar in this, especially because I see the Page of Pentacles and the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords is like ruthless in trying to figure out and understand things. ruthless. So you might be online, you might be in the libraries, like literally in the libraries, looking at the dusty old books, looking at even things that have not been translated yet into your primary language to try to understand, like, okay, did they translate this properly? Like, is there something that has been missing here? Like, what's going on? You really want to get down to it. So you might be such a scholar, like really, really, really into just understanding the way things are because you want to create something different. Like you feel like you need to know what has already happened so that you can create something that has not happened before, something completely different. And then we have Queen of Pentacles. So it's like you want, this to me is reminding me of the longevity that I was mentioning here in the poets. Like you want to write something that's going to last a long time, or say something. You just want it to be pivotal, and maybe not even just one work. You might want everything that comes out of your mouth, like every single thing that you put out there, to be the best of the best, the top of the top. You want it to be things that last forever, that are pivotal, that are monumental, like all of those big important words. That's what you are looking for. You want people to look at you like they would look at the Queen of Pentacles, like, wow, this person is wealthy. They have things, like they got real stuff to say. This is important stuff. We should look and pay attention to them, because not only are the words that are coming out of their mouth very important, but they can help us in the future. Like they got solutions in there. Like it's stuff that we need to be listening to. It's rich. Like if it was soup, it would be like the richest soup that could heal you. Like that's the type of words that you want to be coming out of your mouth. Even seeing the star here, it's like you want it to be healing. Let me say that better. You want your words to be very impactful. Like it's as if you were giving a set of instructions to people, and maybe they don't even like realize it or follow it, but like it's reminding me of Jay-Z, because he's a rapper, but to me I think rap is poetry. So he there's like this debate that people say, I don't know how much money is, but I'm going to say $50,000. You can either take $50,000 or have dinner with Jay-Z. That's like what the debate is. And Jay-Z was like, take the money, because I have already put everything that you need to know for me in my raps. And that's what you want to do. Like you want to leave your legacy behind in the words that you have, in the words that you write or say. You want to leave that behind for other people to like gain knowledge from. And it's not just like, you don't want it to be like direct, like brush your teeth and then you won't get cavities. Like you don't want it to be direct like that. You want people to have to decipher through it and understand it, because you know that that's what's going to stick for their generations and centuries afterwards. That's what's going to make people like go to bed and keep thinking about that thing. If you make the words more beautiful, like how poetry does. It's not direct, it's not blunt. It kind of speaks around the thing and helps you get a picture of it, and gives you the deeper feeling of the poetry. So you want to do that in your words, and not just like be bluntly like, here's the secret to life. Like no, you want it to be poetic and beautiful and something that makes you think. And then we got the Four of Wands. So much to celebrate. Peace and contentment in your personal life. So being this prolific poet, it would just make you happy. I mean, that's just basically it. You want to be happy, you want to be able to be sustained from this. That's what you would be doing if money wasn't a problem. You would be doing this primary, like as your primary job. And maybe you already do. Like I have a feeling that you already do, but you might not be able to be writing the things that you want in the way that you like. So maybe you have a job where you have to write stuff that you're just like, ugh, I just have to like put it out there. It's no fun. I can't, put mystery and metaphor around it. It's just like, boom, brush your teeth. You won't get cavities. Like, period. Super easy. So we have now, let's just move on to the advice for you. It's going to be guidance and invite help. When you make divine intelligence your foundation, you finally have a fixed star to follow. And then invite the divine to pursue you. Seriously, just say, I'm finally ready. God, pursue me. This is fun. So if you want to write something that has never been written before, you might have to look to places. Look to different places. Like the divine. Ask God for help and inspiration. Instead of looking in these books of what other people have written and what other people have done, like ask God, what is the thing that should be coming from my soul? Like what should I be writing? Like what have I been placed on this earth to write? If you already have that spirit of poet in you, there's got to be some words already that are in you. Like you just need them to come forth and burst forth from you, right? So asking God for some divine guidance to literally help open you up, so that the words that are going to come through you, that are due to come through you, can come through. It's like, okay, just say, I'm finally ready, God, pursue me. It's like, yeah, God, okay, I'm ready for the words that I want to say to come out. I don't need to be comparing myself to other people, asking, what has and hasn't been done. Like, I am sure William Shakespeare didn't know back in whenever time he lived, that his poetry would last so many centuries. So you might not know it when you start writing it, or maybe you've already written it. Who knows? You don't know that yet. You just have to get out there and do your best work and put your best foot forward. So, like really spend that time paying attention to yourself, your own soul, because you don't want the words of like somebody else's words to be coming through you. And that's what's like prolific. You want the thing that you feel called to put out there to come through you. And because of that, it's saying, not put down the books, but let's focus less on the books and more on what our soul wants to write, what you feel on the inside that you want to write. It says, when you make divine intelligence your foundation, you finally have a fixed star to follow. And when I think of divine intelligence, I'm thinking about that stuff that on the inside, like that things that you know without knowing. If you let that come forth from you, that's when you're going to be doing what it is that you want to be doing, if money was not a problem. Okay, pile 2. We're going to move on to pile 3. Okay, pile 3. This is, what would you be doing if money was not an option? I know I would get one of these piles. So we've got hedonist, prince, and warrior. These are the 3 overall things that you'd rather, like the energy, I guess, of what you would like to be doing if you did not have to think about money at all. And honestly, what I feel here is that you would not like to do anything. I'm really getting the energy of like Peter Pan. Don't want to grow up. You just want to, not even to be a child, but to be in a position where you don't have to worry about anything. So everything's taken care of. You're not in charge of anything. That's a prince. And then if anybody tries you, they get, in trouble. Like your parents will handle it, basically. So you don't want to have to worry about like you're taking care of yourself. So worrying about feeding yourself, housing yourself, like it just might be a lot or too much for you. Like I don't want to have a job. I just want to be able to enjoy the pleasures of life. And that's what we see here in hedonist. This lady, she's sitting down. She got a bowl of fruit. She's just chilling, eating it. That is what you would like. Just like a nice, easy, lovely life. And again, Prince. Prince is the heir to the throne, but he's not on the throne. So the prince can just chill while his parents are still around, handling everything. Also, this person in this picture has let me pick it up. They have a bouquet of roses. So it's like romantic charm and potential for power. Like you are into the potential for power. You don't actually want the power. You don't want to have to wield and handle that and make all the tough decisions. You're like, no, let an adult do that. And then the romantic charm part, like, I don't know why. I just keep getting the energy of like being a child. But like, this is kind of like high school. You didn't really have to worry about nothing. So you could just have your little crushes. You could just, do like boy-girl stuff. I don't know a better way to say that. But in high school, it's always about simple things. Like who's dating who did this, who did that, who's smart, who's not. Like it's just really simple stuff that is basically of no consequence to the real world. So you don't have to make any real decisions. You can just go about being a lover girl, lover boy. You can have a crush today, a different one tomorrow. Like there's no need to settle down because it's just not time for that kind of stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you're just not really interested in, you would rather just be living a fun life, a free life, kind of a life of a child or someone young who has someone to take care of them, someone to handle any problems that come up, because that's what I'm seeing with warrior. And someone who, again, who is above you, so that you don't have to take care of stuff that other person does. Basically the energy of, if I didn't have to worry about money, I wouldn't be doing nothing. I'd be chilling. I would be eating good food. I would be, hanging out with my friends, just chatting about nothing, like not having to worry. That's what you would be doing if money wasn't a problem. And with these clarifying cards, because I'm seeing six of cups, again, same energy of back to childhood, romanticizing how things used to be. So you might be an adult now and you're just not really into it. Like all these decisions I gotta make, all these bills I gotta pay. Like I just really want to go back to when I didn't have to worry about none of that stuff. That might be what's on your mind right now. And then because we have the Emperor too, it could be that you again desire someone to be. You want somebody else to be in charge. I was just thinking earlier about how like as an adult, or sorry, as a child, I trusted everything. Like I wouldn't worry about certain things. Like even when you're on the playground and you just jump on the stuff, like you're not worried about whether it's gonna hold you up. You just jump on it. And now I feel like as an adult, we're like, okay, what's the weight limit for this? Can we get on that? Like, is this swing safe? Is it level? Is it, like we have all of these worries that we care about now. But as a child, somebody else cared about that for you, so you didn't have to. And so you just kind of want to go back to that time and place where, everything was good because there was somebody looking out for you already. And then we got the Three of Cups. Yeah, you want to be hanging out with the homies, celebrating. It's like you just really want to be in a place where you are safe and happy around, surrounded by people who love you and who just want to celebrate with you and, just have a good time. Like, again, if we're talking about childhood, this could be back with hanging out with your siblings. Maybe you all have been estranged from each other because it just happens when you get older. Or you just want to go back to a time when you had those siblings. Maybe they're not around anymore. It could have been deaths, especially, recently. And then we have the Three of Swords, which is the heartbreak card. Great sadness that will heal with time. Let go of the past, personal growth that comes from challenges. So you're not really into that. You don't want to have to go through life and like experience all these problems that you go through as an adult, as a human being. Back when you were a child, stuff was just not like this. At least that's how you feel and what you believe. Yeah, I really am just getting, don't want to do it, don't want to adult, don't want to have all these issues and responsibilities, and like you don't want to have to get up every day to do this. You just kind of want to go back to a simpler time. And so the advice for you is courage and divine abundance. Let me be open to courageously take the steps that are shown, and then you were born to align with love's will. Follow the Tao and serve something beyond the ego. Learn to be abundance, not chase it. So basically what I'm seeing here as the advice for you is, unfortunately, it's difficult to go back to childhood or back to when we didn't have to worry about anything, especially when you're already an adult. I can understand if you're like just becoming an adult and you're just like, well, it's too much. But if you've already been here, you've been out here in these streets, you cannot go back. You can put yourself in positions and relationships to make you seem infantile and that other people have charge over you. But what the advice is to have courage, because that's all you need. It's a lot when you're making all of these decisions, and you might be afraid of making mistakes. You might be afraid of doing it wrong. You might even be afraid of just like messing up everything, but it's not possible to do. It's your life. So whatever you make it is what it's going to be. And so it's not really possible to mess it up. You can make a decision that you don't like, and then guess what? You can decide something else. Easy. But just the courage to like take responsibility of your own life and just for you to be the one who is making those decisions for yourself. Because even if there was someone making the decisions for you, it's going to be their intuition, their decisions. Like they're going to be the ones in charge, but it's not that the decisions are going to be better for you or the best for you. Who is going to know best for you other than yourself? That's what I want to know. And then divine abundance. So if you believe that this is all about your belief system. So if you believe that everything's going to be okay, then everything's going to be okay. If you believe that decisions that you're making are going to be the best ones for you, they're going to be the best ones for you. Like you just have to believe that. Believe in yourself. Believe that everything will be all right. And believe that even if you make a decision that's not, in alignment with you, right? You make the wrong decisions, quote unquote. You can always go back and fix it. Like there's no wrong answer. There's no wrong way, no wrong turn. Believe in abundance. So there's many different directions you get to go in. You chose this one today. If you don't like it, guess what? You can choose the exact opposite, or you can come here close to it. Like there's an abundance of decisions that you can make. So just understanding that and not seeing life as black and white, right or wrong. and remembering that even the adults in your life, they were not perfect either. So don't feel like you have the pressure of being a perfect person. Don't feel like somebody else can do it better than you can. Everybody's going to do it differently because there's a plethora, many ways to do things. And just understanding that if you have the courage to move forward and take control over your life, you can. And you can build a life in which you can be surrounded by people that you love and have every single thing you need. That just needs to be your number one goal. Okay, pile 3. We're going to move on to pile 4. Okay, pile 4. What would you be doing if money weren't an issue? These two cards are answering that. I'm just going to pick them up here. You have Messiah and Hero Heroine. Those are your two cards. So Messiah says serving humanity with humility, and Hero Heroine says passion for a journey of personal empowerment. So these two cards are, for me, I'm like, this has to be an empath. This has to be someone who sees all the things that are happening in the world and just really, really wants to help. But of course, because we've got to work, sometimes it's hard to like feel like you're making a difference in the world. And so you just want to go out there and you just want to serve. You want to serve humanity, you want to serve your higher purpose, your higher power, and you just want to help, really. So the clarifying cards, we have 10 of Pentacles. That's all about wish fulfillment. But honestly, because this is what you would be doing, I feel like this is what you want to do. You want to go around literally like Jesus and like make things better, make things happen. So if there's a problem over here, if this nonprofit needs some help, you want to go and boom, I've got some money for you to help with that. Somebody over here struggling, trying to take care of their kids, boom, I can help you with that. Like you really want to be that kind of person that can come through and basically be those people's wish fulfillment. You want to fix the problems. You want to make things better. If you were a beauty queen, when they asked you what you would do for the world, you say you want world peace. Like you would literally just be trying to be out here magically. You see my hands like over here, over there, like magic, like Jesus did, healing people, helping people, even teaching people. And then we've got the Empress. Same thing, same type of energy of like being able to be that person, that thing that the people need. So the Empress, she is abundance. That is what she is. She doesn't do, she is abundance. And that's what you want to be for other people. You want them to be able to come to you and ask for things and be able to help them and assist them in whatever it is that they need. Also justice, you want to right the wrongs in the world as well. And you want to be able to have that even temper. So to be able to do that, you want to be a fair and impartial person. You want to be able to walk forth balanced. So this can even be talking about like literally being a judge, or just literally being able to have the higher ground, to have the higher perspective when there's an issue going on, to like have the solution. I keep thinking about the Bible, and I'm thinking about, was it Jesus? I don't know who it was. Sorry, I'm not so good with knowing. This was a while back when I went to church all the time. But the story in the Bible where there's two people and they said, this baby is my baby. And the person, well, I want to say it was Jesus, I don't know. He was like, oh, if y'all can't decide whose baby it is, then cut the baby in half. And then the person who the baby actually was, she was like, no, don't cut my baby in half. Here, she can have him. And then Jesus was like, okay, that's the baby's mama, because that person won't allow the baby to be cut in half because they actually love the baby. You would be somebody like that who would have those kinds of solutions that are logical. I mean, that wasn't really logical, but like a way in which to find out the truth, because you want it to be the truth. You want to walk forth straight. So you want to be able to have those solutions for people who need them, and to be able to be the judge. So be the one to decide that as well. And then we've got the Four of Swords. So this is the card of resting, meditation. Even you might just want to be like in communion with the divine all the time, all day, all night. You might want to be a monk or a nun or someone who just communes with God all the time. Like you feel like if you didn't have to worry about money, that's all you would do. It's just commune with God. You would go out there and be enlightened and be able to like help fix the world, help heal the world, help save the world. Like you would be able to do that. You might even be someone who is highly wealthy, like one of those mysterious donors. Like you would love to do that, to just be able to go and like read up online about people who are going through stuff and then just miraculously send them something, but they don't know who it's from. And they'd be like, oh my gosh, my world is saved because this mysterious donor came through. I think it's called angel donors. This angel donor came through and saved me. Like you would love to do stuff like that if money wasn't a problem for you. But basically you just want to serve, like you want to go through and help in any way that you could. That's why I'm feeling like you're an empath, because you probably really see where there's problems in the world, and you want to be that hero. So the advice for you, pile 4, is going to be detachment and divine flow. Yeah, it's definitely given empath. With detachment, you finally feel whole inside, with or without the fulfillment of a particular desire. Ironically, that's often when it's fulfilled. And then eventually, one sublime desire takes precedence over all others to follow the Tao, the divine flow at all costs. So for both of these, I really feel it's just saying, like, yes, you feel all the things that are wrong in the world, but like, that's not your job to fix. It is your job to bring forth the light. And it's so funny because sometimes we think that things that are wrong or things that we see as wrong are really wrong. But if we really take a look back and we really know all the details, we understand why certain things are happening, because it's like it's divinely guided, but we just don't understand. But sometimes when we take a look back, we can see like, oh wow, this is what's happening right now is what's supposed to be happening. They're going to learn this lesson, or they're going to understand that this is going to lead to that. Like there's so many good things that can happen based off of something that may be seen as a problem. And so for you to detach from that, detach from needing everything to be correct or fixed, and then just know that you can just be in communion with God at all times. You don't have to worry about problems or fixing things. Okay, pile 4, that is your reading. Okay, pile 5, these are your cards. So these two are the answer to what would you do if money was not a problem or an issue. And it's Knight and Vampire. Knight says loyalty, romance, and chivalry, a love of honor. Vampire says makes you aware that something or someone is draining your life force. So I've been looking at these like, what is this? Knight and Vampire. Those are both kind of archaic in terms of like archetypes, because we don't believe that vampires are real. And then knights, we don't really need those anymore, except maybe if you live in one of those places that still has a king or a queen. But knights are the ones who protect, right? They protect the realm. And it looks like what you want to do is kind of protect against people who may be draining life force, or maybe just like bad people, let's say, to be broad. You want to protect against bad people. So when I think of like real careers in that, I'm thinking like a police officer, or even a security guard, or a lawyer, a fighter, like I'm thinking MI6, or what is the CIA or something like that. Like you want to be somebody who kind of protects against negative, like negativity, negative energy, negative people, people who you don't feel should be around. It's like, who's out here like protecting us from all these bad people? If money wasn't an option for you, because it may be that whatever it is that you do right now, like you don't feel that you can leave that to do something like this, like to be a detective or something. You feel like you have to do that because of money. But if money wasn't an option, you could just go and do whatever you wanted to do. You would do something like this, and you might not even be hands on with it. You could be like intelligence, like knowing where the problem is. So like trying to figure it out. Maybe you're on the ground, like being a spy or something like that. But just being able to tell whomever it is that needs to know, these are the bad guys over here. This is a problem over there. They're the ones who are doing this. Like you want to correct those problems. Like, and it's literally the problems of people who are being negative or bringing negativity into this world or into your world. That's why I'm thinking like CIA or something, because it may not be that we know who it is. So you might want to go investigate and figure it out. So I'm getting from Knight, because Knights are chivalrous. Like you don't even necessarily feel like you need the honor or glory, but you want these problems to be fixed. You want the streets to be cleaned up. Even Batman, you might want to be somebody like that. So we've got the Ace of Wands, Queen of Swords, Three of Pentacles, and the Hermit. What I'm saying here is like, especially with the Ace of Wands, it's kind of like like you want to be the leader of this thing. You want to be in charge, like the one who points the finger, like that person's bad. This is a bad situation. That's what I was saying, like to be the one who is on the ground seeing it in real life. Maybe not the one who is like officially cleaning up the streets or doing the dirty work, but the one who is saying, hey, this is what I see. So maybe you actually literally in real life see these things happening and you're like, nobody's doing anything about them. Like, if I wasn't busy over here doing what I'm doing, I would be out here pointing out, like, these are these people who need to be, like, we need to clean up the streets. These people are the ones who are doing this. They're the ones doing that. Like, you might see it really in real life and you want to point it out. And then Queen of Swords, it's kind of like judgment. Like being the one to decide. I'm hearing off with her head, like being the one to decide who's wrong, who's not. Like literally even a judge. Thinking lawyer, judge. You want to do those kinds of things, but maybe that will require you to go back to school. And again, money would be involved, so you don't want to have to do that. You don't want to have to like stop working your job just to start all the way over to do something like that. And then the Three of Pentacles, this is about perfection. So like perfecting your perfecting your craft. You want to be good at this. I'm thinking even about House on, you know that show House where he's a doctor. He's just really good at it. Like all the problems that nobody else can solve, he's the one who solves those problems. You want to be that type of person, like type of person, be like, okay, there's this terrorist over here, but we are not sure if they're the ones who are causing this trouble that's way over there. Can you like look at these clues and figure it out? Like you want to do something like that, and you're not quite sure. I guess you're just not sure if you can do that with with who you are right now. And then we have the Hermit. It's like once you've cleaned up the streets, everything will be great again. This is kind of the life you want to live, one in which people can walk out by themselves on their own and feel safe. Even when it comes to like spirituality, because this is talking about energy vampires, you even want to like find people who are doing not so great work when it comes to spirituality, people who don't honor spiritual boundaries. You want to be someone who's like that, who is not someone who's not honoring, but someone who is keeping people safe from people like that. So you want to shine the light on the dark places and to say, this is not right. These people aren't doing right over here. This is false practices. Like you want to be a whistleblower, but also the one who is like blowing the whistle, but also the one who is actively involved in solving the problem. Not just saying, oh, this is wrong, but like actively taking place in solving the problem. Okay, so here is your advice. We've got flow. Allow me, divine, to move with the flow and respond with calmness and peace. And then divine source. Help me know that all my deepest needs will be met. Let me trust that you have a plan and the right actions will come. You are my source for all. It was interesting because I see flow. It's kind of like do your job. Like do what it is that you are doing. Do your part. Also like see something, say something. So maybe right now, especially because you have this deep desire to like fix things or stop people from doing wrong or bad or, you know, negative stuff. Maybe you do see something and you're like, nobody's doing anything about it. And you're real life right now. And so that's what I'm seeing by flow. It's like, do your part. Like if you're seeing something going on, do your part. Stop what you are seeing. Speak up about it. And sometimes even if it's not like something that's illegal or whatever, something that is acceptable to everyone around you, but you even like talking about that with somebody, like not accepting it. Something that I see sometimes in my life is when people overwork themselves. Like they're the person that's always doing the overtime, who's always, picking up the slack from other people. But it is accepted in the office as good behavior. But you see that as them not having boundaries or them not really protecting themselves. And so it would be up to you to say something to that person or to the whoever's in charge, who's making the decision that they should always be the person to work overtime. But you would also want to do something about it too, other than just saying something, saying like there should be a law, a rule that nobody can work this many more hours, so that this person is not feeling bad about not being able to work those hours, but also at the same time that they're being protected, so that in the future, when they're older, they're not like, I don't know, it depends on the type of work you're doing. They could be hurting their back or something if they're doing work that requires them to bend over. You know what I'm saying? Like just to help them protect themselves. So you would want to be somebody who is putting those kinds of things in place. And the advice is like do what you can in the places that you are. Like you're put in that place for a reason. You're seeing the things that you're seeing for a reason. Like there's a way to do something about it without, having to go and be the savior, the knight that takes down, like cleans up the streets. I keep hearing that. You don't have to be the person that cleans up the streets. But you can clean up the things around you. You can start by talking about them in a calm manner, because it says respond with calmness and peace. And then divine source, saying your needs will be met. So sometimes we have a fear of things not going the way we need them to go, especially if somebody is around who is probably not behaving in a way that we think is ethical or good or right. And sometimes you just can be afraid, maybe even afraid to say something. But it's like, help me know that all my deepest needs will be met. Let me trust that you have a plan and the right actions will come. Like even with all this negativity on this bad stuff around, truth will prevail. The right thing will prevail. And just having that belief, like belief in the divine, like it will be okay. Even if it looks kind of shaky and scary right now, everything will be okay. It might not be in this moment right here, but eventually it will. And it will work out for the best. Even having that belief in your regular life so that you don't have to go out here and become a savior, a lawyer, a police officer, a CIA agent for things to be okay. But in your real actual life, you can understand that things will eventually be okay. You just have to play your part. Keep going, keep moving, and things will work out just fine. Okay, that is your reading, pile 5. We're going to move on to pile 6. Okay, pile 6. This is what you would be doing if money was not an issue. So we got Destroyer and Fool. Destroyer says releasing what is potentially destructive, preparing for a new life. And Fool, fearlessly revealing emotion, helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. So this is reminding me of like a comedian, literally, but basically somebody who calls out things that are going on. Like you just call it out. It's like, oh, y'all are over here doing this and doing that, but your job is really supposed to be helping people. But look at you using the same money that you're supposed to help people with to do whatever, things that are not what the money was supposed to be used for. You're gonna say it better than me because you're gonna be a comedian, so you're gonna have a way with your words. That's what I see in Fool. Like not even maybe a comedian, but like a political correspondent or literally a comedian who goes around and travels, because that's what I'm kind of seeing in your cards. But somebody who calls things out. Literally, I'm thinking about somebody like on what is it called? The funny guy on Comedy Central. Oh, I can see his face. What is his name? Colbert. There we go. Stephen Colbert. Like he's really funny and he calls things out, but it's like he does it in his own special way. It is like very much parody, but that's kind of what you would want to do. You want to call it out, but you want it to be funny. You want people to pay attention to you, but you also want them to like learn from you as well. And you just want to call out this negative energy, this negative stuff that people are doing. So to clarify, we've got the Ace of Pentacles. To me, it's just like you want to go, because I'm thinking of political correspondent, even on the news, you want to go back and you want to learn maybe even history so that you can have your facts straight, so that when you do call these things out, it'll be like easy, simple, like this is wrong, that's wrong, remember that, like knowing your past so that you don't repeat it in the future. So even like bringing those kind of facts forward, like historical things and instances that have happened, or even like giving people facts like y'all think this is what happened over there, but remember this is what happened, and this is the correct thing that happened, and people are like brainwashing you or whitewashing, even is what I'm hearing. And whitewashing the truth. This is the actual truth. Like you want to call it out, and you want to call it out in ways that people will listen to you. That's why you want to use the energy of the Fool, fearlessly revealing emotion, but helping people laugh at the absurdity. Like you want You want people to not only see that it's wrong, but be like, this is so stupid. Like, why is this even happening? That type of energy. And because we have the Six of Pentacles here, it's like giving and receiving, giving and receiving energy. But this to me, I see as literally you being up on the stage giving these facts out. People are giving you money because you're giving them the facts. It's like the equal exchange, but you're not really giving them money. You're giving them your knowledge. Pentacles can be knowledge too. You're giving them your knowledge and your expertise and the things that you have studied and learned. And they're giving you money like, oh wow, look at them. I'm gonna pay for tickets to see their show. I'm gonna pay for them to I'm gonna pay them to be on my network, like if you're a political correspondent. I'm gonna pay for them to teach my students, if you're a teacher, that kind of thing. And then we've got Knight of Wands, which is making me think of you going around and traveling and saying these things and teaching people this stuff. Like you're literally just out here spreading the word. And then Five of Swords. This type of energy would not be able to exist around you. So this is that shiesty energy that like do whatever it does to win type of energy, even whether it's cheating or lying or whatever. Like you're like, no, this is the stuff that you're calling out. And you're doing it like this guy's up here laughing, but he's the type of person who is doing that shady, backhanded stuff. You will be the type of person to call this type of person out because this person is going to be someone who's, what's the word? Egregious. Like people like this person, right? On paper and in front of people's faces, they're great, but behind closed doors and like people who really know them, it's like, no, they're not a good person. You're going to call that out. Like you are not going to be afraid of that. That's what you want. You want to be able to just tell the truth, basically. And so your advice is inner child and awakening. Allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. Let me attend to its deepest needs and feelings. And then, oh my Lord, wake me up from life as a spiritual sheep. May I hear you through my own instincts and common sense. And it's so funny because you want to do all these things. The advice for you is to start seeing the truth in your real life. Yeah, you want to go and call people out, maybe even on a larger scale. But if you start, it's basically saying start small. When you're a child, you're naive. You don't know things. You just know what is told to you. It takes you some time to really learn the truth and like to really start trusting your intuition. And that's what I'm getting here. It's like, allow me to give compassion and love to that little one. That could be your trigger for wanting to do this, for wanting to destroy the lies and the falsehoods in this world and wanting to be someone who does that with comedy because you yourself have experienced so many people lying and being false to you as a child, and you were like, how could you tell me Santa Claus was real? Like what? And I just believed it. And then whatever else was told to you and you were just like, dang, I just believed all that stuff and y'all were just making that up so I'd be quiet. And you don't want that to happen to anybody else. Maybe it could have been some major stuff. We're talking little things like Santa Claus, but maybe major stuff like who your parents are or like how you came about to be in the world, like all kinds of things that people lie about to kids. That could be your trigger. And what the advice is saying, wake me up from life as a spiritual sheep. May I hear you through my own instincts and common sense. So you want to be someone who knows this for yourself and on your own. You don't ever want to be naive again. And it's basically saying to pray for that. Pray for that. Work on that. Sometimes we can see the truth and we know the truth without acknowledging that we know it. Sometimes we'll even just fall for falsehoods because we've always done that. And if you have the intention of knowing and seeing the truth as you go on in your life and you allow yourself to see that, that's what you're going to continue to see. If you allow yourself to open up to that, instead of wanting to be like a child and being naive and just believing what other people say, if you allow yourself to open up to the truth and really like see the signs, like, someone who can read people, basically read when people are lying, read when people are, hiding something. If you allow yourself to be that, then you won't be stopped. You will be able to achieve this goal of yours, no matter what size of the platform that you're going to be up on. Even if it's just you in your everyday life, or even if it's just you in your community, asking the important questions to your politicians or the leaders in the community, like the teachers and the administration in your school system for your kids, whatever it is, like allowing yourself to see the truth and really acting on that, even sharing that with others. And again, if you're going to see it in a way that it's obvious to others, so laugh at the absurdity. If you're going to see how absurd it is, you will need to see the whole truth and call it out. You can't just be like, they're lying. You need to be like, You made this up because you are uncomfortable with this aspect of it, and you are, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to break it down so that people can understand and see. So allowing yourself to really see the truth is going to help you do that. And that's how you get started on your journey. Hey, Pal 6, thank you so much for watching, liking, and subscribing. I'll see you next time.